Hey guys, what's up? I hope you have a nice day, a nice evening. Hello. So today I want to talk with you about the honest DPS rankings about the last 4 weeks of rating. I think there will be not so much changes coming anymore because now after 4 weeks the DPS tier list is settled down in my opinion. Yep, some specs are maybe a little bit more scaling better, so could be little changes coming up. But at the end of the day, there's no class or no spec that is right now in B tier will show up in S tier, or an S tier spec will fall down to B tier, just as an example. You know, there were a lot of predictions at the start of the expansion, but at the end you never know exactly how it works at the end of the day, and many predictions were right, some predictions were wrong. We have positive surprises, we have a little bit of negative surprises, and that's why I want to go over with it to you today. You see here I'm staying around just looking for the time lost product, but that should be not the topic today. So let's go into the tier list. As you can see here, we have a very clear S tier. S tier is Demo Warlock, Athlete Warlock, Unholy DK, and Asa Rogue. There is after this 4 is the first relatively clear gap that you can see. I guess most of these classes or specs were kind of predicted to be S tier, around S tier, but yeah, just let us see. I have today two comparison sites. One is Warcraft Tavern, one is Icy Wains. Everything what I'm saying is not to blame them or to cheer them, whatever. It's more like I just want to show you a little bit of comparisons about the predictions, that we can see what is surprising and what was relatively clear predicted from most of the community. If you can see here, S tier, Athlete Warlock, Unholy DK, Frost DK, Asa Rogue, Arcane Mage. Here we can see the first two things that are definitely not working out. Frost DK and Arcane Mage, they are not S tier. They are not bad, don't get me wrong, but if you just see the difference from Unholy DK to Frost DK, Frost DK has nothing to do with S tier. Because if you would put Frost DK in S tier, that would mean that you can also put this Distro Warlock, Balance Druid, Enhancer Shaman, and everything else, to be honest. A Fire Mage, even Fire Mage you could put in S tier. Survival Hunter, that makes no sense, that is no S tier. We have a relative clear S tier, and that's of we have 4 specs here. Frost DK has nothing to do in the S tier, and also Arcane Mage has nothing to do in the S tier. There is a gap between the S tier specs and Arcane Mage, so nothing to do with S tier here for Arcane Mage. If we go for Icy Wains, also here only 3 predictions for S tier. Asa Rogue is missing, Demo Warlock is missing, and they predicted Frost DK to be also S tier, and it is not S tier. And Frost DK is important in the raid, and it's not a bad class and not a bad spec, don't get me wrong, but there is no reason to have more than one into the raid at the moment, in my opinion. If we talk now about, and they forgot Asa Rogue, like I said, I think. If we talk now about the first positive surprise here, because as you maybe can see, Frost DK and Arcane Mage are definitely doing not as good as predicted. They are not bad, but they're not doing as good as predicted from most of the community. We're coming to the first very positive surprise, and it also was surprising for me. I play Asa Rogue, but Combat Rogue is really close to Asa Rogue at the moment. And I did not, to be honest, I did not thought about that. It's very surprising for me. And there were already rumors after the first week about this. I did not give a lot of attention about it, but now since the last 2 weeks, the things are really changing, and Combat Rogue is a good spec. Most of the raid guilds that I know have at the moment 1 Combat Rogue running with them, and usually between 1 and 2 or 3 Asa Rogues. Yeah, that's Combat Rogue is really strong. You can see it here, it's the 5th best spec at the moment in the game. It's the most close spec to S tier from all the A tier specs, so yeah, it is very good A tier. If you can see here how the predictions were, Warcraft 7 had it on B tier. It has nothing to do with B tier. I also would have put it in B tier, I have to be honest, before everything started. Icy Veins was here more accurate and put it directly behind Azarok in the A tier. But like I said here, Azarok is much more high than on the 6th place. It's on the 4th place, and Combat Rogue is directly behind here. That's what changed. So first positive surprise. Let us go here over a little bit. Arcane Mage, like I already said, a little bit more down than predicted. Enhancer Shaman, it's very good into the game, but it's also here predicted as A tier. It is here predicted as A tier, so that's very accurate. Everything works here out. Frost Decay, like I already said, not as good working as many people predicted, but still good. Destro Warlock, I have to be honest, there is no reason that you play Destro Warlock. You can see here was even predicted C tier. It is not C tier, it is low A tier, so definitely it's working better. Here it's low A tier predicted, that's completely fine, that's perfect. It's very good Icy Veins here at the moment, the predictions, but there is no reason to play Destro Warlock if the other two specs are the best ones in the game right now. Next one is Balanced Druid. Balanced Druid is also doing really well. I think they struggle a little bit with mana, if I'm not sure. Let us look about Warcraft 7 and Icy Veins. A tier, correct. And here only B tier, what is not correct. It's definitely still an A tier spec, so seems like it's performing a little bit better than predicted. The Balanced Druid. Next one, and that's the next, yeah, let me say a little gap. If we wanna make a A tier, and let me maybe open a notepad here. Sorry, maybe not the most professional way to clear the things here up, but okay. So A tier. Affli Warlock, Demo Warlock, Unholy Decay, Azarok. If we S tier, sorry. If we wanna make an A tier, I think I definitely would put, like I said, Combat Rogue, Arcane Mage, Enhancer, Frost Decay, Destro Warlock, but like I said, he has really no reason to play Destro Warlock, and I would put Balanced Druid. Can you also put Fire Mage and Survival Hunter and Marksman into the A tier? Yes, definitely. It's a little bit depending on how you see it. I think S and A tier are very, very good, and then after this is coming. Let us continue with a B tier here now, just to clarify the things a little bit. So B tier would be then Fire Mage. Fire Mage, let me see how is here predicted. B tier, very good. Also here, B tier, very accurate. It's exactly how it's predicted. Survival Hunter and Marksman Hunter, you can see here, they are A tier here predicted. They are A and B tier here, so seems like Survival Hunter is doing a little bit less than predicted, and yeah, Marksman Hunter is kind of accurate predicted in that case. So it's, yeah, how you want to see it. I mean, to be honest, I have no problem also putting Fire Mage, Survival Hunter and Marksmanship into the A tier, but definitely a little bit behind the other one. Marksman Hunter, Survival Hunter, Fire Mage. But to be honest, you think it's fair to put Fire Mage and Arcane Mage into the same tier? That's the question. For me, it's very clear that Arcane Mage is the much better DPS than Fire Mage at the moment. Then the next one would be Elemental Shaman, Shadow, and Feral. That would be then a relatively clear B tier. Elemental Shaman, Shadow Priest, Feral Druid, B tier. Let us see here. Feral Druid, that's accurate. Shadow Priest seems like doing a little bit less good than predicted. And Elemental Shaman, we could also use it here as a C tier. I like to be a little bit more positive about the thing, so let us keep it here. And also you can see here, Feral Druid was even predicted A tier. Sorry, but it's not A tier. Shadow Priest, B tier, okay, fine, I take it. And Elemental Shaman, B tier, fine, definitely, I take it. After this we come to, yeah, let me say, the specs where I already would say there is no real reason if they don't bring something for the raid to play them. We don't talk here about tanks, we don't talk about heal, we talk about DPS. DPS, what they usually should bring is damage. This class and specs already bring much less damage than the other ones. So why you should play them? Sub-rogue, don't play it. There is no reason to play Sub-rogue. Sorry about that. Frost Mage, no reason to play Frost Mage. You have Arcane Mage, you have Fire Mage. Stay with them. Beast Hunter, no reason to play Beast Hunter. Marksman or Survival. We come to the warriors. We have a very strong warrior in our raid. He is sometimes, for sure it's depending on the boss fight that is benefiting him, don't get me wrong. But yeah, sometimes I only see 5 people in the DPS list from I think usually it's 19 DPS or, and sometimes I see him. I see only 5 people, like I said, the first to 5th. So sometimes I see him on some certain boss fights. So it's still not good. It's still not good. Don't get me wrong. It is C tier, but it's, in my opinion, not a bad C tier, and it's especially good because of they can put the Thunder armor on the boss. So I would like here to start with Fury Warrior, and then Red Paladin. Yeah, Red Paladin is also a little bit, how should I say, he is predicted as B tier. He is predicted as B tier. I mean, sorry, I cannot give here any more B tier. It's the third last spec. I mean, for sure, super close to Fury, super close to Beast Hunter, super close to Frost, super close to Sub. But all this, they have nothing to do with being a B tier. Just my honest opinion. But these 2 specs in C tier, Fury Warrior and Retribution Paladin, are the only specs, in my opinion, that you should play from the C tier. There's no real need to play Arms Warrior, there's no real need to the Beast Monster, because you have different specs that working the same, and I don't talk about Gladiator Warrior, sorry about that, but makes no sense. So, what you can see here, S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, don't play the other classes, don't play Sub, and so on, I don't want to repeat it now again, are the things that you can play, you should play. I mean, we all know Shadow Priest, what he can bring to the raid. We all know what Feral Druid can bring to the raid. We all know what a Retribution Paladin can bring to the raid. Fury Warrior, very strong on some boss fights. Can bring Thunder armor, for example. Elemental Shaman, I forgot what he brings. I also think he brings a nice buff. And so on. So these classes definitely won. Maybe for the Retribution Paladin because of all the Paladin buffs that are existing too. But besides that, all of them, usually only one of them in the raid. So, what does it shows us? We have a very nice surprise with with Combat Rogue. And we have a little bit of a downfall of Arcane Mage, Frost Decay, and in my opinion also the Retribution Paladin that were higher expected than they are. What is a nice surprise is, I think, is it the Affliction Warlock? Sorry if I'm Affliction Warlock. Sorry, the Demo Warlock. It's even the first place when you look just right here. I mean, Don't get me wrong, it's so small difference that it's not really worth to talk about it. But Demo Warlock, Asa Rogue are definitely surprisingly good. I also think that Enhancer Shaman is a little bit better than they predicted an A-Tier. Okay, that was just my personal feeling. Balanced Druid is doing well, a little bit better than expected, I guess. But yeah, Frost Decay, Arcane Mage, less than predicted, and the Retribution Paladin also definitely less than predicted. There is still, like I said, these classes have a space in every raid. It's also depending on how much you go for speed or whatever. But you know, every class of them minimum one time into the raid are definitely fine. And in case of, for example, a Retribution Paladin, I also see it 2 times working in a raid group for sure. So yeah, these are the first honest DPS tier list with facts, not predictions, nothing else. You see here, it's over the last 2 weeks. You also could put it for just 1 week, or I think 4 week would be also possible, but the last 2 weeks is what matters. Everybody saw now Naxxramas between 1 and 4 times. People know the bosses, people have better gear. So that's how it is. Maybe there will be a change between Demo Warlock and Unholy Decay. Maybe there will be a change between Arcane Mage and Combat Rogue. Maybe there will be a change between Destroy Warlock and Balance Druid. But there will be no change anymore that the Shadow Priest is rising in range of Unholy Decay. So this is how it is. Take it. Think maybe about if you have like 2 characters at the moment and you did not decide which one is my main. Maybe this is helping you. Maybe also think about how some of them are transitioning into phase 2. Maybe you can already see here, okay, it did not work out for me with Arcane Mage right now pretty good, and maybe there are 2 other Arcane Mage already in your raid, so you think like, okay, why I'm not switching to my Warlock that I wanted to have as an alt character, and now you can play it as your main character. Okay guys, just informative today. I hope you liked it, and I wish you successful raids, a lot of fun. See you. Bye bye.